Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We want to explain about the material from chapter 4, Science. This material contains first, understanding science, second, common seeking knowledge, and the third, position of knowledgeable person. Understanding science. In Indonesian, there are 4 terms related to science, namely science, knowledge, science. The term science is a combination of 2 words which mean scientific knowledge. The term science is a translation from English science, comes from Latin scientia, which is derived from the word scire, which means knowing to know and study to learn. Then science can mean an effort to find out something that is empirical in a certain way. Science is a series of rational and cognitive human activities with various methods in the form of various procedures and steps so as to produce a systematic collection of knowledge about natural and social phenomena to reach the truth, understand, provide explanation, or apply them. In the terms of its meaning, the meaning of science, according to the Liangi, contains 3 things, namely knowledge, activities, and methods. While science with mean process means that science is not final, meaning that the truth of a science is relative. Science itself comes from Arabic ilm, which means knowledge, is the opposite of word jahl, which means ignorance. The word ilm can be matched with other words, namely arifah, wisdom, and shu'ur. Science criteria. The criteria for something knowledge to be called science are: first, having a clear object, second, having a certain method, third, arranged systematically, and finally is have a goal. From the 4 conditions of something called science, it can be developed several characteristics of the knowledge called lozada: logical, objective, systematic, reliable, design, and accumulative. Classification of knowledge. The term knowledge, according to Muhammad Hatta, knowledge is every experience. The classification of knowledge, according to Jejun and Surya Sumantri, is classified into 3 groups, namely ethics, aesthetic, and logic. According to the Islamic Encyclopedia, knowledge can be divided into 2 types: ordinary knowledge and scientific knowledge. Ordinary knowledge is derived from all forms of either humanity, feelings, talk, experience, 5 senses, and intuition, to know something without paying attention to the object. Scientific knowledge is also a form of humanitarian effort to know something, but by paying attention to the understudy. I.M. Saifuddin in his book Discoloration of took the foundation of Islamization knowledge into 3 groups, namely sensory knowledge, scientific knowledge, philosophical knowledge. Sensory knowledge includes all phenomena that can be directly reached by the 5 senses. Scientific knowledge includes all phenomena that can be investigated by research and experience. And philosophical knowledge encompasses all phenomena that cannot be reached, but can be thought of. 3 differentiators of knowledge, namely ontological, epistemological, and axiological. Science, in general, according to Imam Al-Ghazali, is divided into 2 classifications, including Muamalah science and Kashafa science. The science of Muamalah is grouped into the science of Fardu Ain and the science of Fardu Kifayah. Meanwhile, the science of Fardu Ain consists of Sharia only. There is Fardu Kifayah science, some are Sharia. There is Ghairu Sharia knowledge. The knowledge of Ghairu Sharia is divided into 3. There are 2. The ones that are made easy, Matzumah, and knowledge of Mubah. Matzumah knowledge is not a Fardu Kifayah. The nature of science. Science is a concept or science that results from experience, observation, research that is useful for future observation and experience. Science is all knowledge that could lead people to recognize God.
Next is search knowledge and experience. First, explicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is knowledge obtained through the educational process is gradual from stage to stage. Second is tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is knowledge acquired through long and repetitive experience, resulting in test models and theories. B. Command to seek knowledge. The characteristic that distinguish Islam from others, one of which is the emphasis on the problem of science. It is evident that the first revelation was not obligatory for prayer, fasting, zakat, and pilgrimage, but to read. It is written on Quran Surat Al-Alaq, ayah 1 until 5. Iqra is the commandment to read, and reading is the first door to the opening of knowledge. People who want to read are people who want to put these verses into practice. There are 108 verses in the Quran that talk about the universe. This is Quran Surat Al-Alaq ayat 1 until 5. That commandment to read. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Next is invitation and encouragement to seek knowledge. A. Seeking knowledge is mandatory for every Muslim and Muslimah. B. Seek knowledge even until in China. C. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. D. The scholars are the heirs of the Prophet. E. Whoever wants the happiness of the world must have the knowledge. Then, who wants happiness in the hereafter, he must have the knowledge. And then, who wants to achieve both, then he must have knowledge. Next, on the day of resurrection, with the ink of the scholars, with the blood of the martyrs. Then the ink of the scholars is executed from the blood of the martyrs. Anyone who takes the path to study, then Allah makes it easier for him to go to heaven. Anything who dies while developing knowledge to revive Islam, then in heaven he is equal under the Prophet. And the last, Allah has given the highest degree to his servant who study. It is written on Al-Mujadilah ayah 11. Next is knowledge that must be sought. According to Mahdi Gulshani, the knowledge that must be sought is A. Knowledge that can increase his knowledge to Allah. Second, knowledge that can help develop Islamic society and realize its goals. C. Knowledge that can guide others to the right path. And D. Science that can solve various problems in society. Next is the position of people who know the knowledge. The position of people who know the knowledge is written by Surat Al-Mujadalah ayah 11. Surely Allah will exalt those who believe among you and those who are given some degree of knowledge, and Allah knows the best what you are doing. Why did Muslim retreat? Muslim retreat because almost all Islamic countries have been colonized by other nations, especially by Europeans and Americans. As a result of this colonization, Western countries saw Islamic countries with one eye. Even Islam is a big threat to their progress. Muslims are still preoccupied with the internal conflicts caused by Khilafiyah, so that almost all potential Muslims are sucked into the problem of conflict. Muslims have not been able to grasp the totality of Islamic teachings. There is still a view that Islam is sufficient with prayer and other rituals. And the last is, Muslims sleep too long in stagnation, especially in understanding and capturing the spirit of the Quran. So I think that's all from my team, and I hope you all can know about what we are presented. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.